You may have seen these teacup pincushions before now and thought they look very expensive and very difficult to make. In fact, they're not. They're quite the opposite. If you've got spare china, maybe you've broken one of a set, or if you go to charity shops, you can find teacups and sets very affordably. That's where mine came from. And as for being simple to make, well, let's take a look at how we do it. Cup and saucers, I bought a set from a charity shop. They're only about £10, and I've got 4 cups and saucers and a coffee pot as well. So that's what I'm going to use for my teacup. Measure across the top of your cup, and then I want a piece of fabric to make the pincushion with, which is double the size. So my piece of fabric measures 6 inches across. And to find a circle that's 6 inches across, I happen to have a plate in the pantry that was exactly that size, so I use that as a template. I've also got a whole load of silk flowers that I just keep in my stash, any type of beads and ribbons and buttons, and a pop sock, because this is going to be my first tip for you. So first of all, this is going to help to keep all of the wadding or the batting in place. So I'm just going to chop the toe off the end of an old sock, and then take my toy filler or hollow fibre stuffing or whatever you're going to use in there, and stuff it inside your sock. And this helps to keep it nice and neat for the fabric to go around the edge of. So I'm going to stuff it quite tightly because I need it to hold pins in place. Try and make it into as round a ball as you can, and then that's going to squish inside your cup. So if you've got a larger cup than this, obviously you're going to need a larger amount of wadding. So I know that's going to fit, so it goes to one side. Then take your circle of fabric, and you'll need some strong thread. If you don't have particularly strong thread, then double over your thread. And I'm going to sew a tacking or basting stitch all the way around the edge of the fabric, around about 1/4 inch from the raw edge. These stitches don't have to be perfect, mine are about 1/4 inch long, and just keep sewing and pulling through. It doesn't matter that my thread's the wrong colour, because this is going to be inside the cup so you don't see it. Now you can make these pincushions out of practically anything. So a teacup, a coffee cup, an espresso cup, could be a mug, a milk jug, an egg cup, anything that's a receptacle really, anything that you can put that little ball of wadding into, you can make it into a teacup. Could be a jar or a bowl. I've even made one from an ornamental watering can before now. So you use your imagination, have a look around your home to see what kind of things you have but you don't need, or take a look like I did in the charity shop. Sometimes you will find an absolute gem that is very affordable. Alfie agrees with me. So round we go. That banging noise is actually him wagging his tail right next to the radiator. Hello. Hello. Okay, so just keep going round and round. I'd use woven fabric, and by the way, not a poly, I don't like polyester, or a stretch fabric. Stretch fabrics will stretch just a little bit too much, so something like a craft or quilting weighted fabric will be fine. Right. Come on through. So I'm going to pop my pop sock inside my fabric, and this is why you need strong thread, because you're going to draw that up. Just tie that over. Oh, I've got my glue gun at the ready, by the way, forgot to mention that. I found a glue gun is particularly good when you're doing things like this, because it's so strong and it's quick, so you don't have to hold things in place while you're waiting for glue to dry. So again, that doesn't have to be perfect on the bottom side. I'll just tie this into a knot, because that's going inside the cup. I'll just snip those off. Then we'll have another check just to make sure it fits. I like to match the colours of these as well, so try and pick out the blue in the cup, or whatever colour you have. I know, we used to talk. And then I'm going to take my glue gun, and not too close to the top because I don't want to see the glue on the outside. I'm just going to squirt my glue around there. Now, glue from glue from your glue gun does dry very quickly, so you have to act quickly. So pop it in there and then just squish it around. See, that's practically dry now. You can break it away if you force it hard enough if things don't go quite right. Okay, then we're going to start to decorate. Next thing I'm going to do is to glue the cup to the saucer. Yes, I am. Shh. Like so. So a nice big splodge of glue to hold that in place. Not bothered about seeing the glue here because I'm going to decorate it. So I'll just give that a second or two to dry. In fact, I'll pop another little drizzle of glue around there just to make sure it doesn't come away. Okay. You will get lots of strands, like spaghetti coming off your glue. I like picking them off, but if you've got a heat gun, when they're dry, you can just blast them with a heat gun and they melt away. Right, now we're going to decorate with flowers. So I'll just arrange some to see what they look like. If you're going to cut through wire, get your old scissors out. Don't go blunt on your dressmaking scissors. So just chop those stalks off. So I just want the flowers. So my big ones can sit around there. Then I've got some greeny coloured flowers that I can squish in between to fill in the gaps. And I've got some of these pretty little blue flowers. Actually, they look nice still on the stem. And I'll pop some of those around the top. I also have, I'll do that after, a little string of beads which I'm going to fill the gap between my fabric and my cup, and that finishes it off really nicely. See, now the glue's dried, if there is any that's kind of in the way, you can pick it off. There, that's quite easy to come away. There's one piece there, you see, that I don't want there, so I'll give that a scratch. No. Right, so let's have the big ones on first. Again, if you're a little bit concerned about your glue gun, because this glue is very hot, then use tweezers instead of your fingers to hold whatever it is you're gluing. My fingers are quite a way away from these. And just arrange them however you think. When you're putting things on like this, odd numbers tend to look better than even numbers. And don't have things perfectly symmetrical. It looks more natural, I think, when things are a little bit quirky. Put my glue gun on there so it doesn't drip. Right, I'll just come in with those a little while. So I'll have 3 on one side and 3 on the other, I think. Squash it in. It's looking good. I'm going to fill in the gaps with these green ones. So building it nicely. Lovely. And then we'll have another one around this side, I think. Just down here. And then we'll just carry on. I think we'll have some beads around the top. I'll do that next. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue as I go because this is a fine string of beads and I don't want to see the glue if I can possibly help it. So prizing away the pin cushion and just dropping a little bit of glue around the top. Again, I can kind of pick that off afterwards if it's not perfect. I think that finishes it off really nicely. Larger beads would look good. A few buttons on a string would look good as well. Really anything that you have that matches. Individual beads, little pearls, ribbons, bows. There we go. And anything like this where there's a join, I tend to put that around the back. If you see it, then put a bow over the top of it. That joins up actually quite nicely. So that's how we're looking from the front. I'm still going to carry on adding a few little bits and bobs because I think one of those flowers would look nice here, just overlapping the edge of the cup. and just keep building it up until you're happy with it. That's quite sweet. So that stays there. And then, because I don't like the look of the stalk, although I do like the flowers, I've got some little yellow roses, and I'll use tweezers for this, that I'll just cover the stem with. So I'll just pop a few of these around here. And then to balance it, because I haven't got any yellow at the bottom, I'll just put a couple of these on the bottom as well. And we're nearly done. Okay, whoops. I think I'll put another one of those on the cup. So I'll squish the stem out of the way and stick that to the actual cup here. This looks balanced in threes. And then just to balance that side down here, we'll have the same colour rose on this side. And I've got 3 of those as well. I'm going to finish off with just a little bow, and then I think I'm in trouble of overdressing it, so I'll stop. So one more little rose. Oops, come here. Just in here. Take off all my little strands of glue. And finally a bow. Plain blue. Oh gosh. I'll go for the checked. So just tie that off. Make it quite small, I think. Chop off the ends. And where should we have that? On that side. So again, another blob of blue. On it goes. And we are finished. Perfect.